Yo, what's up, guys? I am back. We're going to have a lot of live streams soon. I actually move into a new place tomorrow. So I'm going to be absolutely cranking content starting tomorrow for the rest of NFL season. Moving into a new place. And regardless, we got some really good bets. Some of these plays are still available. I mean, hopefully you tailed some of these from PrizePicks. We have a lot of really good ones out. I mean, we need Blake Watson over 109.5 yards. This will cash. The play I gave out yesterday on Twitter, and then we have a bunch of bangers. We need A.J. Brown under, no touchdown to cash out a $10,000 PrizePick slip. I mean, we just have all green so far today. Then we got Sanders under 336.5 on ParlayPlay is another good one. And then we need Justin Jefferson under no touchdown too. So I know, obviously, A.J. Brown, like a lot of people, A.J. Brown, he's going to score a touchdown. Let me just make sure this live stream's working. So what's up, guys? We're back. Yeah. So moving into a new place tomorrow, that's going to be exciting. But anyways, what we can do is the reason you really want to be on this play on A.J. Brown, and it's the same thing for Justin Jefferson, is you'll notice, right, like all these sports books have Justin Jefferson, or A.J. Brown in this case, heavily favored to not score a touchdown, right? So I'm literally just looking at the odds, and you can browse odds completely for free on OddsJam. So if you take a look at A.J. Brown, right, Barstool has him minus 160, a big favorite to go under. So if we go back to PrizePicks, we can check out this play on A.J. Brown. Right, so you can see right here, 53 minutes, only 53 minutes until game time. But anyways, right, like the way that PrizePicks works is they don't change your payout based on you selecting over versus under, right? It's a fixed payout platform. So the way you beat PrizePicks is you find player props, right, that are very likely to occur. Like PrizePicks is going to give me the same payout if I take Browns over or as under. So let me actually just move this over a bit, see if that shows up a little bit better here. If you can't see, you get the point. Anyways, we can do it a little more. So if we take Brown over or under, right, we're always getting the same payout, So obviously, if all the sports books are telling us, so if we just go back to the odds here, if all the sports books are telling us, hey, Brown's a really big favorite to go under, I mean, you can see a lot of these sports books only have one-way lines. Like you can see FanDuel has A.J. Brown plus 130 to score a touchdown, right? But on FanDuel, you can't bet on A.J. Brown to not score a touchdown. That's called a one-way market. You can only bet the over, but they're not giving you the odds on the under. So you can kind of assume like FanDuel's under would probably be minus 190 if you assume they have the same vig as Fliff. So A.J. Brown is almost a minus 200 favorite to not score a touchdown. So the really sharp bet you want to be on PrizePicks is A.J. Brown to not score a touchdown. And I know it's crazy, but same thing with Justin Jefferson. So if you look at Justin Jefferson, again, all the sports books have him heavily favored to not score a touchdown. Bet99 has him minus 200. They have him as a 2-1 favorite to not score a touchdown. So you can see I also have Justin Jefferson on PrizePicks, which I think is a really good pick, right? Justin Jefferson to not score a touchdown. So those are like the two no-brainer plays you got to be on, as well as Tyreek Hill. Right? And again, like a lot of people will, you may be thinking, oh, Tyreek had a great game, whatever, last game. And it's like, yeah, sure. But, I'm just following the data. That's what I always do. I'm never just going to place a bet with my gut. And you'll also notice, like if you go to Tyreek Hill, so if we load this bad boy up, what is going on? So you're going to notice you can get Tyreek Hill to score a touchdown. Or, let's just go back to this A.J. Brown example. I'm not sure why it's not loading. But if you want to bet A.J. Brown to score a touchdown, right, just go to Fliff and bet him plus 130, right? PrizePicks is minus 119. Like I've explained this before, on PrizePicks, to be profitable, you just have to win in a 5-pick flex play. All you got to do to be profitable playing 5 and 6-pick flex plays is you got to be able to win your plays 54.25% of the time. This is literally just the math behind PrizePicks. Like you can see here, I have PrizePicks, their payouts, depending on how many legs you hit. So if you go through the math, what you're going to see is you got to win 54.25% of your picks to be profitable on PrizePicks long term. So it's pretty simple, right? If all the sportsbooks have Tyreek and Brown heavily favored to go under, those are picks winning above 54.25% of the time. So they're good picks to go with on PrizePicks. So here's another really good one. I mean, I already locked this in, but I don't know how it's still available. So this plays on Fliff, right? So again, like, you have so many data points telling you where this line should be set. Madison under 2.5 receptions. Like, literally, there's not a single other sportsbook who is giving you odds above like minus 106 on him not to score a touchdown. Again, all these books are sophisticated betting markets. All these books have invested millions of dollars in their ability to set lines. They all have Madison, around like minus 115, minus 120. It's like Fliff is asleep at the wheel giving you plus 120 on this play, right? I have no idea what they're doing. So literally every other sportsbook is pricing this like minus 115. So this is a really good play on Fliff, right? From the positive EV tool. So all the positive EV tool is doing is pretty simple, right? All these sportsbooks, like if you look at Underdog Fantasy, for example, we need Jefferson, no touchdown. But if you look at Underdog, right, like they literally have tens of thousands of lines on their site at any given time. Most of these bets suck. Right? All OddsJam is doing is pointing out those few bets where a book is screwing up and is really far off from the rest of the market. So you just put in the sports books you use, it points out value, actually profitable bets in the market. Like you literally have dozens of data points telling you, hey, this guy should be priced like minus 120 to go under. You can get him plus 120 on Fliff. That's an insanely good play, right? What you could also do is if you use Bet Online, right? So Bet Online has his over at minus 108, like you could arbitrage bet this. So what I mean by that, and we'll get into some picks here in a second, FanDuel also has him minus 113. Damn, there are a lot of arbitrage bets right now. Wow. So here's another one. But anyways, like a lot of people, it's like, oh, I don't like risk, whatever. Well, if you use Fliff and FanDuel, like you can follow this little calculator. Because Fliff is so far off from the rest of the market and all these books set their lines independently, you could bet Madison's over on FanDuel, his under on Fliff, and make a risk-free profit, right? So you just pull up the little arbitrage calculator. And again, like it's clear that Fliff is the one screwing up here. Really good bet. But if you use FanDuel and, Fliff, and again, if you use other sports books, it's an even better arbitrage bet. So let me actually just select them all. And then let's go to this Madison play. Right? So what you could do is you can pull up this little calculator and it tells you, hey, Bet Online has the over at minus 108. Fliff has the under at plus 120. I mean, literally minus 120 versus plus 120. That's freaking insane. So if you go here, all it's going to tell you is like, we can go through this math very briefly. I know it's not exciting and some people probably already understand it, but literally this is how I started sports betting, arbitrage betting. It's absolutely insane. So you have Madison over 2.5 and then you have his opposite outcome. So this is arbitrage betting. You're betting equal and opposite outcomes to make a risk-free profit. So here we have his over is minus 108 on Bet Online. His under is plus 120 on Fliff. And then what I typically do is I just round this calculator. I don't want to like freak out the sports books. So typically I just take whatever the arbitrage calculator tells me and round to the nearest 5 or the nearest dollar, whatever. So in this case, 285. And then you can see here, if he has 3+ receptions, we can just go through the profit. And if he has 0 to 2 receptions, right? So we're betting his over and we're betting his under. These are equal and opposite outcomes, right? Like he's either going to go over or he's going to go under. One bet is always going to win. One's going to lose. So if he goes over, right? And then let's just change this to Bet Online. Let's change this to Fliff. We'll just go through these numbers quickly. So if he goes over, we're winning 285 times 100 over 108, right? We're betting, just according to the arbitrage calculator, we should bet 285 times 100 over 108. So we should be betting, so we're winning 264 on Bet Online, right? Which is what you win if you bet 285 at minus 108 odds. So if he goes over, we win our bet on Bet Online. We lose our bet on Fliff. So we lose 250 on Fliff. Our net profit is $14. We made money. Right? Now, if he goes under, we lose 285 on Bet Online, and we win 250 times 1.2, $250 bet at plus 120 odds. We win 300 on Fliff. So our net profit is going to be $15. So we make money no matter what, right? And that's arbitrage betting. It's not sexy, but it's a risk-free $15, hard to argue with. Or you could do what I did and just take the under for Madison under 2.5, because it's pretty clear that Fliff is the side screwing up, right? All these books are data points. They're all pricing him around -115, +120 is a steal deal. Anyways, you can see there's some other good plays on Fliff, but why don't we start going Kirk Cousins interception? So why don't we start going to some more PrizePicks plays? Let's lock them in. So we can go here, and honestly, what I'm going to pair together. So another benefit of PrizePicks, right, is you got to remember is PrizePicks. No. So if I take So what I would want to take is I would want to take Brown, no touchdown. So let's actually go here. Let's go to the NFL, and then let's go to pass plus rush plus receiving TDs. So if we take Brown's under, and then we take Kirk Cousins over 0.5 interceptions, where is it? Right? So again, why is this play good on PrizePicks, right? Why is the positive EV tool pointing it out? And again, this tool works for regular sports books. There's 208 sports books out there. I have no idea what books you use. You can see the top plays actually on Fliff. It's this play on Alexander Madison. But, depending on the books you use, you're going to see different plays available. I have no idea what Play Now is, or Betly, or some of these other books, but depending on what books you have access to in your location, Bet99 is a Canadian sports book. You'll have different betting opportunities that are available. But anyways, let's go back to PrizePicks. Right, so if you go through the math behind PrizePicks, all you got to do to be profitable is win 54.25% of your picks in 5-pick flex plays, right? This is literally just the math behind PrizePicks broken down. So what we can do is we can start to build a slip. So we have Kirk Cousins over half of an interception, right? So you take a look at the odds here. Every single sports book has his over half of an interception. So every sportsbook has him pretty heavily favored to throw an interception, right? So again, PrizePicks would give me the same payout if I take his over versus under, right? So we want to take his over because that's the favorite outcome. I mean, PrizePicks strategy is pretty simple. They don't change your payout based on you selecting over versus under. So you look for spots where his over or his under is really heavily favored. So you can see here, we have tons of data points, right? So many people want to try to outsmart the market with their gut. But I mean, you can see here, Pinnacle has ripped odds in favor of him throwing an interception, right? So just like the price of a stock moves, sportsbook lines move, lineup changes, injuries, weather changes, sharp action, all that stuff moves around lines. So you can see Kirk Cousins in general, the market has been shifting towards him throwing an interception. Right, hot streak moved from +100 to now down to -170 on Kirk Cousins to throw an interception. Sleeper, they've also ripped lines in favor of Kirk Cousins to throw an interception. So now this play finally looks good on PrizePicks, right? His over, him throwing an interception, is a pretty big favorite, right? And you can kind of calculate. So if we actually go here, we can pull up a little calculator. I try to keep these live streams, pretty educational. Kind of talk about why I like certain bets. But again, this spreadsheet, I'll actually just share it. I'll share it in the chat just in case anyone wants to mess around with it. But I'll put that in here. So basically, if you want to see what percentage of my picks do you need to win, or what percentage of your picks do you need to win on PrizePicks to be profitable. But it's pretty simple, right? PrizePicks assumes most people can't get an edge over them, right? If you have no idea what you're doing, if you let your grandma place a bet, she would win these over-unders 50% of the time, right? If you don't have an edge, it's like flipping a coin. 50% heads, 50% tails, 50% over, 50% under, right? If you're dumb, if you don't have an edge, you're only going to win these prop bets 50% of the time. But on PrizePicks, so is this even showing up completely? Let's take a look. Yeah, it's showing up. Okay, perfect. So on PrizePicks, 50% doesn't cut it, right? You got to win 54.25% of your picks to be profitable. So what we can do is we can look at this play on Kirk Cousins, And why is this play winning above 54.25% of the time? So it's pretty simple. Like PrizePicks, it's a fixed payout platform. It all boils down to what percentage of your picks can you win. If you can win your picks 57% of the time in a 5-pick flex play, your ROI is going to be insanely good, right? If you can win these prop bets like Cousins over under half of an interception, 57% of the time, you're only losing 43% of these prop bets, your ROI is going to be 19.25%. But PrizePicks' business model is they assume most people win 50, lose 50. Most people are dumb. They win 50%, lose 50. And in that case, your ROI is negative 25%. But anyways, so if we go here, you can see Pinnacle, right? Damn, I keep zoning in too much. But you can take a look throughout the market, right? And you can see like certain sports books have the over a little more favored than others. But Pinnacle, which is known to be a pretty sharp or sophisticated sports book, and this is just one data point. You should look at all sports books, but let's go here. You can see Pinnacle has the over as a minus 148 favorite, and they have the under at plus 111. So what their market is implying, and this is called a no vig odds calculator. It's the most important calculator in sports betting. It takes the market, removes the vig, and tells you what is the probability of your pick winning. So essentially, according to Pinnacle's market, they have him roughly as a minus 150 favorite. Damn. I keep zoning in too much. So let's go back here. This play is 55.74% to win. According to Pinnacle's market, right? They have the over juice to minus 148. So like there's a difference in the level of juice, right? Minus 148 versus minus 200 versus minus 300 all imply different win rates, right? Minus 105 juice isn't that big of a deal. Minus 148 is a really big deal. That's a lot of juice. So that makes us really like this play on PrizePicks. Right? So according to Pinnacle, this play is, if we go back to the calculator, 55.74% to win. So it's really good in a PrizePicks entry, right? If we could win our picks 55.74% of the time, our ROI would be 10.1% on PrizePicks. So what I can do is I can just be like, okay, perfect. So what we can do next is we can take A.J. Brown to not score a touchdown, one of the plays we went through earlier. And the reason I'd rather go with A.J. Brown, or actually, what am I saying? So what I do want to, I'd rather go with Justin Jefferson, right? So if Kirk throws an interception, then Justin Jefferson is less likely to score a touchdown. So we get a little bit of positive correlation here, right? Correlation is very exploitable on PrizePicks, because they don't change your payout. Based on you selecting over versus under, like you can correlate outcomes. If Kirk Cousins throws an interception, Justin Jefferson is less likely to score a touchdown. So those two plays pair, pretty well together. So those can be the first two picks we go with. And then you can see there's some UFC play. I mean, obviously it's a few days away. Some people hate betting on stuff that's a bit far away. But I mean, it's the same concept. It doesn't matter what sport you're betting on. If you're winning 57% of your prop bets, right? If you can win these over-unders 57% of the time, your ROI on PrizePicks is going to be 19.25%. Doesn't fucking matter what sport you're betting on. It's literally irrelevant. It all boils down on PrizePicks to what percentage of your picks can you win. And it's the same thing here, right? All the books have us over, heavily favored, the over 1.5 total rounds. So take the over. Not super complicated. But anyways, what we can do is we can go here. So we got these two picks. That's pretty cool. On PrizePicks, spots where sportsbooks have the over, pretty heavily favored. It looks like line movement. It looks like lines are ripping. Here's Bovada. They've ripped Kirk Cousins from minus 120 to throw an interception all the way to minus 145. So again, lines can move for a bunch of reasons. It's kind of why did the price of this stock go up today? It's there's new information in the market. Maybe Facebook, has some new product. Maybe the economy is doing well. Whatever. Maybe the company is making more money than expected. It's markets can move for a bunch of reasons, right? So long story short, everything is reflected in the market though. A lot of people would be like, oh, it's bad weather, I'm taking the under. That's reflected in the market, right? If it were going to be snowing, the total would have already moved lower because people would have bet the under. These sports books aren't stupid, right? When Aaron Rodgers got injured, lines ripped towards the Bills. The market reflects all information, right? So you use this market information. Every sportsbook sets lines independently. So it's literally like having, dozens of data points on where should a line be set. So what's kind of crazy is all these states have different sports books. So depending on, I mean, that's what makes it kind of annoying because, if you're in California, then you can't use FanDuel, which is kind of stupid, but that's just kind of how it is. So what we can do is we can go back here. Damn, how is this play on Alexander Madison still available? Pretty crazy. You can see there's some good bets on PointsBet. Jimmy G, no touchdown, minus 145. Vikings, first quarter money line, plus 160 on DraftKings. So there's some good plays kind of across the market. But anyways, I don't have access to DraftKings right now, so I'm not able to bet it. But plus 160 seems like a pretty good price, right? You can see FanDuel, other books have been moving lines towards the Vikings a bit. So that's pretty interesting. But anyways, let's go back here. Let's head over to PrizePicks. And let's refresh this. And let's see what else, what other plays are out there. So what we can do is we can, let's just put all these in. Let's just remove certain markets. I don't like some of these. And then we can just kind of take a look. So some of these esports plays look decent. So just like these plays have positive correlation, right? If Justin Jefferson doesn't score, if Kirk Cousins throws an interception, then Justin Jefferson is less likely to score, right? That should make sense. So if you go through the historical data for Dota, which I've done, what you'll see is it's kind of similar in esports. Not every esports league, but at least in Dota. Where did it go? So let's go back here. Nope, I want to go to PrizePicks. So let's go back here. And here we go. So let me just remove receptions. And we can take a look. So in esports, players on the same team are positively correlated to go the same direction. So what I mean by that is like players on the same team, you want to take them both to go the same direction. So if you take Syphilis over 10, you should take Sumal over 13, right? So best, long story short, when I can find two plays for players on the same team that both have value. So like for this Crystalis player, not Syphilis, you can see Underdog has the line at 11.5. PrizePicks has the line at 10. So that kind of indicates to us like, hey, PrizePicks, there's some good value on the over for Crystalis, and same thing for Sumal, 13 versus 14.5. And the benefit of PrizePicks compared to Underdog Fantasy, so if we actually look up these players, I'll kind of show you, is on Underdog Fantasy. So we have Crystalis and Sumal. So Underdog Fantasy is too smart, right? And what I mean by that is Underdog Fantasy, they won't let us bet on esports players on the same team, right? Because of this positive correlation. So this is only exploitable on PrizePicks, right? Taking two players, League of Legends, Dota 2, right? Take players on the same team, both to go over or both to go under. So when you find a spot like this is just from the Fantasy Optimizer, which again is like, it's not a complicated tool. All it's doing is scanning all these lines on PrizePicks, Underdog, all this crap, and pointing out value on PrizePicks, right? Where is PrizePicks messing up their line relative to the rest of the market? So you can see for Crystalis as well as for Sumal, PrizePicks has their line lower. Both players are on the same team, Team Secret, right? So they're positively correlated to go the same direction. And this isn't like, meant to be an argument. Like some people will be like, I've seen in Dota one guy go over and one guy to go under. It's like, yeah, but like long term, if you look through the data, players on the same team are positively correlated to both go over or both go under. So it's just an added benefit in your slip. Again, because PrizePicks doesn't change your payout based on you selecting over versus under. Damn, so this one is pretty nice too. So here's another play that I really like. Greg Joseph under 1.5 field goals. Although I don't think it really, it's probably negatively correlated if we took it with Justin Jefferson to not score a touchdown. So I'd recommend just taking one of these, right? Greg Joseph under, right? Vikings kicker, because if Kirk Cousins throws an interception, then Greg Joseph is less likely to have field goals. So those plays are positively correlated. And again, the logic is not super complicated, right? You can see he's heavily favored. Like this is Caesar Sportsbook. They have him as a minus 160 favorite to go under, right? So they have the under as the big favorite, right? That's why OddsJam, this fantasy optimizer is pointing it out to you. So you just go to this fantasy optimizer if you want to find the picks yourself. Pretty simple. But again, right, PrizePicks isn't changing our payout. They're giving us the same payout if we take him to go over or under. Boom, boom. So obviously if his under is the much more likely outcome, according to the data, right? And every sports bettor, 99% of sports bettors, they bet with their gut. Like the whole point of OddsJam, or the whole point of just it's like 99% of retail traders try to beat Wall Street trading with their gut. It doesn't work. Doesn't work. Betting with your gut doesn't work. PrizePicks is in business because everyone thinks they can outsmart the sports books and bet with their gut. And it's just not possible long term. But anyways, we have two really good plays. Right here, we do have to make a decision between Greg Joseph and Justin Jefferson, or we can just include them in different slips, which is another option. So, damn. So what we can do is we can check out some of these college football plays. So I kind of like to pull up this betting tool. It's called the sportsbook screen. Boom, sportsbook screen. And all it does is it just kind of shows you it's just kind of like a full data layout of where are all these sportsbooks setting their lines. So just following the data, let's check out Cameron Skatebow, Arizona State. We're taking an over. Those kids don't do anything at ASU. All they do is party, but let's check it out. So you can see here, it's like PrizePicks. Don't really love that play. Did they already bump that higher? So let's go back here. So you can see PrizePicks already bumped it up. I was trying to bet the over 71.5. It looks like they already bumped him. If you look here now to 80.5, right? So some of these great lines, they're not going to last super long. So I got to skip over that one. But on the bright side, we have some other bad boys. Zach Cunningham over 5.5 tackles plus assists. How do we feel about that? Quinn under versus Team Secret. So this play, I in general try to avoid the plays in yellow, but we do have a little bit of positive correlation here. So if we go back to the Dota, right, again, your goal is take players, and you can only include 2 players from the same team, but this play actually seems pretty solid. So, you can see here, right, I had positive correlation. I've already gone with a few of these picks. But what we can do, so now this whole slip is positively correlated. So what I can do is I can lock this in. And again, I've used some of these picks before, positively correlated. But again, the correlation is a huge benefit. Makes it really easy, not easy, but it makes PrizePicks pretty exploitable. Right, so these plays are positively correlated, so are these. And what I can do is I already have a little bit of action down on Justin Jefferson. I need him to not score a touchdown. I need everyone going under this game. And that'll cash out an Underdog Fantasy slip for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here and we can take a little more Greg Joseph. Right? This play is really good. All the sports books have his under heavily favored. Literally I'm just basically ripping plays from this fantasy optimizer, but trying to find some additional benefit of correlation. So this can be our second play we go with. So let me pull that up there. What up, boys? And then, is this working? So let me just pull this up. Okay. So there's the full play. Sorry, I haven't been looking at the chat. Been too focused on placing bets before the game starts. Blake Watson is dominating. Let's go, bro. So what we can do is we can also take a look at my Blake Watson bet. Navy. What do we need from him? Is this guy even in the game? So we need Blake Watson, 15 yards. I wouldn't call that dominating. We need him over 109.5. Oh, he has a reception too. Damn. So that bet's cooking. So again, I try to drop. I'm pretty sure everything I ever bet is just dropped on Twitter or YouTube. So hopefully, you were able to tail some of these from earlier. It's been a pretty fucking insane day. And we have a Justin Jefferson, and we need Sanders under 336.5. And it's not surprising to me. Some people are like, oh, you're fading all the best players. And that's typically how it goes. A lot of times the better value is on the better players, because my assumption is PrizePicks won't remove this line on A.J. Brown because they get so many recreational bettors who have no idea what they're doing, who go and they bet A.J. Brown, to score a touchdown, so they get enough action on the over where they're keeping the line up, right? Even though, like, it's literally a horrible bet, right? And it's a horrible bet because, again, like, you could literally bet him on a sportsbook at, like, plus 130 to score a touchdown, and PrizePicks is giving you minus 119. So it's an absolute ripoff. And, like, if you're betting things, like, if you take his over at minus 119 in a PrizePicks slip, so let's go back here, right? So you can see it right here. Where are you, A.J. Brown? Right? If you're betting him minus 119 on PrizePicks when there are sportsbooks giving you plus 130, like 50% better of odds, I mean, you're getting ripped off, right? It's literally like trying to be a day trader where you have to pay 2 times more for every stock, right? You won't even stand a chance. If you got to be a stock trader who buys things for 1.5x the price, you're never going to make money. Right? And it's the same thing here. If you're placing bets at minus 119 on PrizePicks when there's other sports books, I mean, literally bet him plus 130 on FanDuel if you're insisting on betting A.J. Brown, because PrizePicks, it's literally one of the worst bets in the world. It's absolutely horrible to take A.J. Brown to score a touchdown at plus 130. The whole market has him as a big underdog, and honestly, he's become even bigger of an underdog. He was plus 110 on FanDuel when they first opened lines 2 days ago. Now he's all the way up at a plus 130 underdog. So, sure, he may score tonight. I'm not saying this is a lock. I'm not saying, throw every last dollar on A.J. Brown to score a touchdown, but the value on PrizePicks is insane. It's insane. And it's same for Justin Jefferson, just for what it's worth. So we can check out the sports books. I have no idea how this play on Alexander Madison is still available. Damn. So there's some good value on Hot Streak. So let me actually just pull up Hot Streak. So Hot Streak is another sports book. I've explained this before, but like the more books you have, the better. And it's not that I like Hot Streak more. So you can see they just ripped this line. This is what I mean when you got to move quick. They just ripped this line from plus 127 to plus 117. But again, all these books have promos, right? Like ParlayPlay today, where is it? They had, or they still have, I assume. Well, they had a promo on Jalen Hurts. PrizePicks has Taco Tuesday. All these books run promos. So that's a benefit of having multiple sports books. But also, they just all have different lines from one another, right? So here you can see, I mean, we're getting crazy value on Hurts under 1.5 passing TDs at plus 133. That would be arbitrage with PrizePicks, because PrizePicks, we got the over 1.5 at minus 199. So it's a little bit of a hedge. If you took his over on PrizePicks, again, you got to remember PrizePicks implied odds for a 5 flex is minus 119. So another thing people ask, and just, I know some people know it, but for anyone new, is on Underdog, you'll see me do a lot of 3-pick entries. Right here we have a 3-pick. This I was literally just testing. They weren't verifying my location, and I thought you could cash out, but whatever, regardless. On Underdog, I play a lot of 3-pick entries because they give you a 6x payout, right? You can see here I'm betting 100 to win 600. So that's a 6x payout on Underdog for any 3-pick entry. PrizePicks is a ripoff for 3-pick entries, right? You'll literally see they only give you a 5x payout. So when you go through the math, and we have some other videos kind of breaking down the math behind PrizePicks, Underdog Fantasy, you'll kind of see 5-pick flex plays are and 6-pick flex plays are what is optimal on PrizePicks, which is why I'm always going with 5-pick and 6-pick flex plays, and I have so many damn bets. So it's going to be a crazy night. But anyways, let's go back here. Let's refresh this. Hot Streak being janky as always. Site never fucking works. So let's go back here. Jalen Hurts to throw an interception, plus 147, also seems solid. I mean, there's a lot of value right now, it looks like, on Hot Streak. I mean, these plays seem good paired together, right? Smith under, Jalen Hurts under. If the site would only load, but it doesn't look like they're going to load for us. Well, there we go. So there we go. We finally got it to load on Hot Streak. And again, Hot Streak is available in most states. big benefit to signing up is all these books, they're going to give you promos. They have sign-up bonuses, stuff like that. So how do we feel about Devonta Smith under 5.5 receptions? No other book is even giving you plus money, right? Sleeper has the under favored. Flip has the under favored. Every book has this priced around minus 115. Hot Streak giving us plus 108. Let's rip it. So let's go here. What's weird about Hot Streak, is they put everything in decimal odds. So 2.08, like they put everything in the European odds format, 2.08. So if you actually just go to a calculator, so what we can do is we can go to this little calculator here. I'm not sure why they do this, but 2.08 is in decimal odds, European odds, and that just means plus 108 American odds. I'm not sure why they do that, but regardless, they do. It's a very janky platform, but still very exploitable. A lot of money you can make. So we're going to bet on it. Justin Jefferson, they're asleep at the wheel. It looks like NFL lines are moving and they do not have their lines in check. But I can't find anything else really to pair with it. So anyways, maybe we go back to Underdog Fantasy. So we locked in some PrizePick slips, positive correlation, right? So we have this bad boy, and then you can replace Greg Joseph. Like, these plays are positively correlated. If Kirk throws an interception, Greg Joseph is less likely to have field goals. So what we can do now is head over here, and let me get rid of the combo props. These are kind of new, and I don't really understand how they work yet. So let's go back here. And what we can do, oh my God. So this is an example. A lot of people would be like, oh, I don't bet on esports. It's like you got to be betting on esports if you're on PrizePicks and Underdog because of shit like this, right? Look at this player Tux. You will never see this. Imagine Jalen Hurts' rushing attempts line was 11.5 on Underdog. So where do we need to go? CSGO, right? And 15 on PrizePicks. This is insane, right? You have a 3.5 headshot gap for Tux, right? So what you could do is you could middle bet this, right? In the fantasy optimizer right here, just pointing out the biggest discrepancies first. What you could do is you could middle bet this. You hit the over 11.5 on Underdog. You hit the under 15 on PrizePicks. If he has 12, 13, 14 headshots, you win both bets. If he has 15 headshots, you push on PrizePicks and you win on Underdog Fantasy. So what we can do is we can... Man, there are a lot of bets showing up. So let's go back here. Jalen Hurts over 31.5 passing attempts. How do we feel about that? I like it. I can mess with it. So let's go back here. We got Jalen Hurts over 31.5 passing attempts. Right? So what I sometimes like to do as well is just pull up the sports books. Man, this is a crazy discrepancy. You got to think about that. 15. Wait, are we on the right thing? Where does PrizePicks have Hurts? Okay. Man, that is crazy. So let's go back here. Let's go to PrizePicks as well. Or no, we're good. We want to complete Underdog Fantasy. So let's get this Underdog Fantasy play down first, and then we can try to middle it if we want to on Underdog Fantasy. So how do we feel about... So there's some discrepancies. There's some good discrepancies. So Jalen Hurts over 31.5 passing attempts. That I'm good with. And again, I've already bet. I really do like A.J. Brown to not score a touchdown, but I don't think they're going to let me bet more on it. I already included this in a previous slip, and they're a little tricky sometimes with that. Jayshon Jones under 52.5. Ooh. Justin Jefferson under 7.5. So again, you can really go with any of these plays. Obviously, you want to. I'll go with Madison under 17.5. So I already have his under 2.5 receptions on Fliff, right? But again, there can be value, on any book. There can be value on his receptions line, and there can be value as well on his receiving yards line. So they're definitely not going to let me bet this, but we can try. Oh, they do let me bet this. So whatever. There's our 3-pick entry. So A.J. Brown, I guess they did let me rebet it for another 100 because my first slip lost. So whatever. That's kind of cool. So there we go. 3 picks. And then what we'll do is we'll go back to PrizePicks. Damn. So you can see PrizePicks. I was going to middle it and bet his over 11.5 and his under 15. PrizePicks has already ripped him to 13.5. So a lot of the value of the middle goes away, which is kind of annoying. But that's just how it is, right? When I'm too slow and I'm talking too much, I miss some of these good bets. Damn. So let's go back here. So that play on Tux just moved. And again, you can just kind of go down the list. I mean, I try to like peek around, see if I can get any, positive correlation, stuff like that. But yeah, let's go back to ParlayPlay. And again, the more books you have, the better. Like I've placed a shit ton of bets on PrizePicks. Like some of these plays are only on PrizePicks, right? You're only going to be able to find them on one specific sports book. All these books have different benefits, right? A big benefit of PrizePicks is you can pair esports players on the same team to both go over or both go under. You can get positive correlation on your esports bets. It's happy hour. Let's go. So that is a benefit of PrizePicks. Underdog Fantasy, what's the benefit of Underdog is it's easier to make profitable slips, in my opinion, on Underdog because their 3-pick entries have really good payouts, right? When you compare that to ParlayPlay. So if you look at ParlayPlay, they only give you a 5x payout for 3-pick entries. We showed earlier PrizePicks only gives you 5x. Underdog Fantasy is 6x, and you only need 3 good picks, whereas PrizePicks, you got to find 5 sharp picks. So that's a benefit of Underdog Fantasy. And all these books have different lines from one another. And all these books have different promos from one another. So I'll actually show you something. So like here, I don't even think Rodgers had 1 yard before he got injured. Is like, Underdog Fantasy had a promo. They still paid it out on Rodgers over half of a yard, right? So like this play won, right? So all these books have different promos. They all have different lines from one another. On PrizePicks, you can correlate esports players. So you'll notice in this slip I have with Blake Watson, my boy's cooking. I had 3 correlated esports plays, right? So all 3 of these esports plays are positively correlated, right? These players are on the same team. So when I'm using the fantasy optimizer, I just try to and there's a free trial for 2 weeks in the pinned description on the comment. But I just try to ideally look for positive correlation, players on the same esports team, NFL plays that make sense to pair together, right? Again, Kirk Cousins to throw an interception makes sense to take it with Greg Joseph under 1.5 field goals. And again, just thinking more mathematically in a more data-driven way, you're going to make a ton more money. Everyone here watches football, right? So many people think because they watch the NFL, they know what's going to happen in the future, right? So many people think because they use Facebook, they know what's going to happen to the stock price. It's a lot more complicated when you're following a data-driven approach. You can't lose, right? When you understand the math behind PrizePicks, what percentage of your picks you need to win, again, you're just not going to lose. So we need our boy Blake Watson to cook. So anyways, we can go back here. And we can check out ParlayPlay. I mean, we might as well. We still got 12 minutes till game time, although it is happy hour. And we can take a look at some of the lines that are available. Hopefully, we can find some positive correlation as well. So ParlayPlay, another cool platform. All these platforms, always recommend getting as many books as possible. I've used basically any sports book you can think of in the world. Bovada, BetOnline, FanDuel, DraftKings, Resorts World, PointsBet. More books, better. Damn. Bryce Young, this play seems beautiful. Early NFL value. I mean, they have been asleep at the wheel recently. So if we check out this and then we go to passing yards. No, I don't want to look at MLB lines. Let's go to passing yards. And then let's look at Bryce Young. Right? So the whole market kind of has Bryce Young's passing yards line. I mean, you can see literally dozens of data points. All setting his line around 198.5, right? ParlayPlay is just casually at 184.5 from, this is just looking at the sportsbook screen. So, I mean, clearly we want to take his over. You could also middle bet this, as we discussed earlier. Take his over 184.5 on ParlayPlay. What book has the highest line? BetMGM hit his under 198.5. And then you have a 14-yard middle where his distribution is centered around. So that seems pretty good. So what we want to do is we want to take Bryce Young over 184.5. And then we can look for some more plays. Derrick Henry, I think I already took this play, but I do like it. Over 79.5 rushing. Will Howard, I think I already took that play. Jalen Waddle, under 71.5 receiving yards. Let's go. So we can take a look at the data. I mean, if you want to just you can basically just go down the list, take this crap. But, if you want to just kind of understand why, I always think that's helpful. Why is this play good? It's we found an inefficiency in the market. All these books set lines independently. It's kind of like seeing a stock priced at $71.50 on E-Trade. You look at Fidelity, Robinhood, Charles Schwab, every other stockbroker, they have the stock at 63.5, right? Or 62.5. It's clear as day that ParlayPlay is too high, so we want to short him. We want to short Jalen Waddle. We want to take his under. So I went with that. So that's another play we can go with. We got Jayshon Jones under 53.5. I think I may have already bet this, but hey, we can try to bet it again. And on parlay plays, you want to be going with 5 or 6 pick flex plays. In general, that's what you want to go with. So we have Roman Hemby over 77.5 in the UVA game, which I think I like too. So I don't love these two players are on the same team, right? So probably doesn't make sense to take the receivers under. So just when you're playing things in the same game, it's just good to tread a little carefully. So we have Cameron Bynum under 5.5 tackles. That makes sense to take, but it probably doesn't make sense to take Justin Jefferson under 7.5 receptions with that, right? That sounds negatively correlated. If he goes under in tackles, then the Eagles, then the Vikings probably have the ball more, and Justin Jefferson is more likely to go over. So that doesn't really make sense to take. Hawkinson under 5.5, that also doesn't make sense to take, right? It doesn't make sense to pair these plays with Bynum. Jack Plummer over 240.5 in the Louisville game. So again, we want 5 or 6 pick flex plays. I try to move quickly. You saw how quickly some of those lines moved on frickin' PrizePicks. And we have Mike Evans over 50.5. Damn. Completely never heard about Mike Evans after Brady has retired. So anyways, let's put in the over. And we're rocking. And anything else to consider? Bang. So there we got... Let me bet it. So there we go. It's going to let me bet it. And there we have a 6-pick entry on ParlayPlay. So again, ParlayPlay is great because you'll notice on PrizePicks, this is their payout for 6-pick entries, right? You go 6 for 6, you get 25x. If I just zoom in, right? This is their payout for their 6-pick entries. What's great about ParlayPlay is you'll notice here, if I just select, whatever, 6 random picks, done, is they give you a better payout on ParlayPlay. So ParlayPlay, it's less sexy of a platform, but it's easier to make money off of, but they have lower betting limits. PrizePicks has higher betting limits, but ParlayPlay is definitely easier to make money off of, and it's just think with your brain. If you go 5 for 6 in a 6-pick entry, you got a 2.5x payout. Right? PrizePicks only gives you a 2x. If you go 4 for 6, you get 0.5x versus 0.4x. So those things really make a difference long term. So even though PrizePicks is the hot girl at the bar, the more popular platform, ParlayPlay is kind of more exploitable. God, and there are a lot of lines. So maybe we rip one last one before the game starts, and then it's happy hour, so I got to bounce. So let's go here. We got to watch the game, and we want to take Debo under 50.5. So again, it's a volume game. So many people focus on placing one bet a day. Even if your ROI was 100%, ParlayPlay has a maximum bet size of $60 per player per day. So even if your ROI is 100%, if you're placing one bet a day on ParlayPlay, that's $60 is your max profit potential, which obviously isn't that good. So we want A.J. Brown. Man, I'm just all over fading A.J. Brown today. So did I already take A.J. Brown's under? So let's take a look at my boy A.J. Brown. Nope, but I did take Nick Chubb. So we have A.J. Brown under 5.5 receptions. Perfect. Devonta Smith. So that play doesn't really make a ton of sense, right, to pair with A.J. Brown under. It doesn't make sense to take players on the same team both to go under. So what I do like is Matchy Fields under 62.5. FanDuel has the line at 55.5. So that seems pretty good. Right? So again, maybe we can, it's kind of just like going down the list, but trying to avoid any negatively correlated plays and just zone in on as many plays. It's not passive income, but sharp sports betting, finding these plays with an edge. It's easy to make money. You really just have to put in the time. So like this play, it's like, right, what are they doing, right? The entire market has Addison at, like 42.5 yards. Literally every sportsbook has him at like 42.5. Well, I guess PointsBet's at 45.5. But ParlayPlay is just casually at 48.5, right? It's like, what you doing, right? So we're using every book posting lines as a data point for us to make, more informed betting decisions off of, better bets off of. So let's go back here. Trey Mosley over 49.5. Let's rip that. So we got a lot of college football value, which makes sense. Like, books in general tend to watch their NFL lines a little more closely than their college football lines. So we have Debo's under. I took the right side, right? Yes, I did. Yes, sir. And then we got CeeDee Lamb under 70.5 receiving yards. So again, like, a lot of people, you're placing a lot of bets on a daily basis, but that's what you got to do to make money, because you can see if I try to bet $100, it just changes my bet size to 60. That's the max they allow on this platform, which is pretty annoying, just kind of how it is. So we're going to lock this in for 60. And there we have our second 3-pick entry. So again, we hit some pretty good ones. We hit this on PrizePicks, 5-pick flex play. We hit this on PrizePicks. There were some good plays as well, just on the positive EV tool on Fliff. Like, I have no idea what they're doing at plus 120. They are asleep at the frickin' wheel. Every other sportsbook has this, minus 115, minus 120-ish. And then we hit this on ParlayPlay, as well as, a lot of green. As well as some other ones on ParlayPlay. But anyways, hopefully this live stream was helpful. Enjoy the game. Make some money. If you tailed any of my plays on Twitter, best of luck. Hopefully we make some money. And have a great rest of your, night. Get a drink. Enjoy the night.